like the ocean waves and the winds and drown out all other sounds, and even to a great extent your own thoughts. Or they can be clear as a bell, like now. Hi, I'm Melissa, and getting to this point of putting my sound, my voice, out there where it can be clearly heard has been a very long journey for me. I've been partially deaf since I was a little girl due to ear infections, so I know that what I hear and how I hear is different from most others. What you just experienced there gives you a taste of what it's like to not hear fully. That's what my world is like most of the time. I've learned how to successfully navigate by not only reading lips, but also reading contexts and body language. I know how to get by in terms of how I hear, and I feel quite comfortable with my speaking voice. But when it comes to singing, it's been a much longer journey for me to gain any level of confidence. I felt shut down by the looks of startle and horror on people's faces when I sang, so mostly I didn't. I considered it a high art I might never be worthy of. Even with this setback, I've still pretty much always considered my hearing to be a blessing. It's taught me how to really listen. I'm interested in not only the words that come out of your mouth, but what's going on behind them. What's the emotional flavor of what you're speaking? Why are you speaking? Where's your attention? And what's your intention? In my 15 years of teaching yoga, I've been very curious about what a person's body language says about their experience in the practice. And so even though I'm the only one speaking when I'm teaching a class, for the most part, I still consider it a dialogue because I'm constantly engaging with the communication that comes off of your very existence in the room and how you're experiencing the practice. Now online, you would think that this is lost. However, you'll find that in the more complex modules of MYOGA Freedom, Basics, Seasons, Restores, and Mamas, that the complexity and the subtlety of what I'm teaching is in the words. The video is helpful, but it's the audio where you'll really find what you need to keep you safe and aligned in the practice. Here in Sounds, we're really pared back to the practices themselves and to a minimal of instruction just before the practices begin. That way you can fully immerse yourself in the sound as you're doing it, which is like taking a sonic bath. It's this therapeutic quality of sound's ability to literally shift my vibration that has enabled me to move from shy sounder more than 30 years ago to leading others in sounding practices for the past 15 years, to today offering these practices to you. I know the fear of making a dreadful and unwelcomed sound. What saved me was sacred sound, or the idea that I could make it a love song to the divine, to the universe. With that quality of reverence and also of gratitude, it's much more about how it feels to make the sound than it is about how the sound sounds. It becomes an act of love, not least to oneself. And on a basic anatomical level, sounding strengthens and stretches the breathing muscles, literally giving you more room to breathe in your life. Recently, I've been working through a primal fear where I was contracting in on myself and could barely breathe. It was through taking up sonic space, making sound that had a profound and positive meaning for me, that I was able to shift from fearful and contracted to calm and confident. These practices have worked wonders for me. And I wonder if you've ever felt anxious about the unknown, or angry, or a debilitating sadness about the known. Do you feel shy about your voice and want to cultivate your voice so that you can more fully embody who you are? Do you want to breathe more freely and steadily in an increasingly unsteady world? If you've wondered why sounding work is even valuable in your yoga practice, or you're shy about your voice, or you simply want more guided experience and systems of support in these mantra meditations and key pranayama or breathing practices that will literally shift your vibration in minutes, then what I have to offer you may be just the trick. The Sounds module of MYOGA Freedom is even more user-friendly than the other modules because it has practices in it that are as short as 1 to 2 minutes. So if you'd like more quick yet effective tools to shift your vibration, then this is for you. I even do some of these while driving, walking, or bathing. So no longer can you say there's no time to do yoga. And sound yoga doesn't even need a mat. In Sounds, not only do we have mantra meditation, but we also have key pranayama practices or breathing techniques. Both of these support you in breathing more fully and consciously. Why is this important? I know one disgruntled man who doesn't like to be reminded to breathe. He doesn't understand why we need to remind ourselves to do something that the body does anyway. It's a good point, but only halfway there. True, the body does breathe automatically, thankfully. Yet it's one of the few features in our bodies that's automatic as well as something we can self-determine. How you breathe is how you live. If your breath is short, sharp, and panicked, then most likely so are you. If your breath is deep and easy, so are you. Shifting your breathing is a surefire way to shift your vibration to a stronger, smoother, more empowered place. In a world where so many things cannot be controlled, why not take advantage of learning how to control the things you can so you can live more easily? Sounds offers you tools to shift your vibration from fraught states like anxious, angry, or depressed to calm, confident, and joyful. What I love about these breathing and sounding practices is that they make meditation more accessible. The meditation that most of us think of sitting still and silently for extended periods of time, requires a good deal more awareness than you might realize. Instead, in these sounding practices, by giving the mind something to anchor into, the sound itself, the breath, the position of the eyes, the position or the movement of the hands, it becomes very clear then when the mind wanders off because you lose your place. The sound is what keeps you on track. By developing your ability to focus and stay present in these mantra meditations, absorption into stillness will then come more readily. There is so much tied up in our voices. If, like me, you've been afraid of putting your voice out there, you might benefit from the support and encouragement, the systems of practice that enable you to work with your voice in a safe space, your own home. This way, you'll develop greater confidence in your voice out in the world, which is no small thing because we're talking about your voice. Your truth, the truth of who you are in the world. And feeling confident to let yourself be heard clearly is not always automatic. A number of these practices touch on your internal energetics, your chakras, either through focusing in on one area of the body, one chakra, or in aligning the whole streaming flow of human potentials within you. If you're curious to explore this more, there's more in here for you. Online practice makes it possible for you to explore and develop comfort with your own voice in a safe space. However, I don't want you to feel like you're all on your own. So we have systems of support on the website, forums where you can ask questions, post comments, and engage with others who are working on the same practices. So remember in the beginning when I said I'd have something to help you go further? Well, the full set of MYOGA Sounds is what I have for you. Click the link below to get the remaining 24 tools that enable you to shift your vibration within minutes. If you haven't clicked, then perhaps you have a concern about the content. I've found that no matter what country I've taught mantra meditation in, and no matter how spiritual the people might seem to be, many people have difficulty with the sacred or the spiritual. I've also found that many of those very same people can talk shite for hours, saying things that have little to no weight or meaning, or even worse, saying things that are actively negative against themselves or others. Yet when it comes to making sound that has a distinctly positive impact on oneself and others and the world around us, they balk. So I've specifically chosen mantras or sounds that are as simple as possible and as non-denominational as possible. The meaning of each is clearly written below, so you know what you're intoning, and you can also gain a sense of what to look for, the effect to look for in your system. It's an empowering and enlightened course to set out on, to consciously shift your mind speak, your mental mantras, from things like I can't or I suck to I am truth or I wish well-being and happiness for the whole world. May your voice ring clear and true. Namaste means I bow to the light that you are. Namaste.